Hello, we're MossCharmly, and on this episode we're going to be reviewing the Clip Studio Tabmate by Celsius Systems. So, we've been using it for a little bit. What do you think?
Okay, the Tabmate is fantastic. We've been using the Huion Keydial, the mini Keydial, for a while, since it came with our
Huion 24 Pros.
Yeah.
The 4K. Yeah. It was like that little added bonus. It was like, nice, thanks.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It works really, really well.
I love that little jog dial.
Yeah,
On
that's
the top little dial, yeah.
it's so cool. It's like using like some sort of like robot
It is.
key dial thing.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's pretty high tech, yeah.
It is. It works really well. Nothing bad to it. But your fingers kind of get lost when you're using it. There's no like any indentation for your fingers to remember where you are.
Yeah.
And you just kind of get lost.
Yeah.
And then your hand just sort of kind of moves up to use the key dial, and there's not much ergonomic in it either. Or ergonomics.
Yeah. I found myself getting really cramped up using it for some
Yeah.
reason because I was like very much, very self-conscious of where my fingers needed to be because I needed to remember where specific keys were. And, you can say the same thing about, hotkeys on a keyboard, but keyboards are very different. It's almost like the keys that are adjacent to the ones that you would be using, you're very familiar with just naturally. This seemed way too generic in comparison, the key pad mini by Huion.
Yeah.
It's almost like, okay, they're all the exact same key. They're all surrounded by the exact same key. It had a very generic sound. So anyways, I just thought it was, want to let you know. So
Yeah, but compared to the Tabmate, it's fantastic. The Tabmate just blows it out of the water. It's so much more ergonomic, and you have so many different modes. The
4 modes.
Yeah, the customizability with this is incredible.
Yeah. The 4 different modes that you can customize inside of, Clip Studio. They have its own little, section where you can, see where all the presets are and its settings for the Tabmate inside Clip Studio. So when you go into that, you can actually see all these different customizable little, variations that you can just come up with. This isn't just something where the buttons are, this is what they're going to be and they're preset. No, it's very customizable down to specific hotkeys. You can even do like micro program hotkeys. It's very, very, very nimble with whatever you would really like to use it for. So in these 4 separate modes, you could even give them specific, guidelines. Like this one is, the first mode is just for animation. Second mode is for making, comics. The next one is just for illustrations, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
whatever your specific need.
It can go on.
Yeah. So I really like that a lot. I love that ergonomics too. I love how it's easier for me personally to hold.
Me too. I ran into that same thing. It's so much easier to hold, and it feels right. You can just casually draw and just be clicking these buttons, and it's amazing.
At first, it seemed like it was a little too small. Like I was like, okay, because everybody has had a Wiimote in their hand.
Yeah, Wii remote.
The Wiimote. So it's like, it's you kind of know how kind of like that kind of a feel would be with a trigger down on the bottom, but this is a lot smaller than that.
It's very different, yeah.
But it's good that it's smaller because it's lighter, and where it's weighted is where your palm would be, like the center of your palm. So it's very light around where you would be, where your fingers are. And for me, it's so comfortable. So it just naturally just fits in my hand in a very natural sense. I know that some people, where you put your thumb and how you have to actuate, your thumb for specific buttons, you can create, specific buttons that you would naturally use more often in a more comfortable position on the Tabmate. So, it's all up to the user preference.
Yeah,
So,
I have smaller hands, and it still works very well for me. I can't complain.
Yeah, and my hands are larger. Like, I need extra large gloves.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a big difference. And we both like it.
Yeah.
So.
Wasn't expecting that.
No, neither was I, actually. I thought it would be much easier for you to hold than for me. Because I know that it was small and things like that. It's like, it's kind of difficult, I got, like, sausage fingers. I know that's cliche, but it's real. Anyways, sorry.
No, don't be.
Yeah.
I will say I had one hiccup with it once.
Oh yeah.
And when I'd press one of the buttons I programmed it for undo, and I held it down and it would do that fast undo. And it started kind of getting buggy, and every time I would press the undo, it would just fast undo everything unintentionally, and I was just panicked. Oh no!
Yeah.
But then it was like I actually it was one of those turn it on and off again moments
Totally.
where it actually worked fine, and I never had a problem with it since. So it was just like one tiny hiccup, but other than that, I actually really prefer it, and I use it now. It's my trusty sidekick.
For sure.
Yeah.
Really, it's one of the most useful devices that I could completely recommend. I mean, it's so program specific, yes, but if you're using that program, it's absolutely a necessity because of the fact that you can do anything you want inside that one program.
Yeah,
you know?
this only works within Clip Studio. Only.
You know, and that would be a downside for a lot of people putting that $70 out. But when you actually get the Tabmate, you also get Clip Studio Debut, which is Clip Studio Debut is not actually sold. You need to buy it with a device, or Clip Studio or Celsius actually pairs an actual, it's a key code to actually download the Debut. So it's almost neat that you would buy this device and then get the Debut version. It's not as full-featured as the Pro, and certainly not, the EX or the EX version, the upper echelon,
one.
the super plus ultra version. It's like, but you get an actual program that's yours that you can download when you purchase this as well. So I find that to be an excellent plus, So yeah, it's absolutely a keystone to my personal way of painting digitally.
Yes.
I have always, coming from using an easel and standing while I paint, which I still can because we have an ergo arms on,
for our tablets.
Yeah, we have like the monitor arms, we have an Amazon and an ergo for our big tablets, but I can stand up if I wish, and I can still do my whole thing. But I've been told that I paint very much like a fencer, or not a fence, when I'm fencing. So my hand's like behind my back, but it's only because I don't get cramped up in my shoulder, because I'm always like, I'm so tense painting. And like this really gives me the ability to feel so much more comfortable in the natural way and in my natural posture of painting.
Yeah, so. I agree with that. It's changed my posture too, for the same reason. I rarely stand when I draw, but it's like you just hold it and you don't even think about it. It becomes a natural part of you while you're drawing, way more than what the products that we that we used with it before.
Yeah, and using Clip Studio is a great program, and we've used Photoshop in the past, of course, but. You totally get used to those hotkeys that you've got on the keyboard. You get used to it equivalently secondhand. But this is absolutely amazing because it's in your hand. Your hand isn't on the keyboard.
Yeah.
This is in your hand. So you can move your hand wherever you want, and you still got the full access of this device.
It becomes a part of you.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's totally awesome. So all in all,
yes, we highly recommend the Tabmate.
Yeah. Even if you have, Clip Studio Paint, Clip Studio Pro, and it's like, hey, buy it. You're not going to regret it completely. You will not regret purchasing this. And if you have another computer and you're like, hey, I want to put a little lightweight, Clip Studio on there. Yeah, you can, because it comes with the key for Debut. So, hey, there you go. So, yeah, anyways, we recommend this.
Yes, highly recommend it. It's wonderful.
Okay.
MossCharmly out.
Buy it.